Next is an appointment that has taken place on March 18th. Joseph Legnard, our attorney for over 40 years, has retired, and we wish him well. And I'm very happy to say that we have Patrick Jeffers, our new attorney, on board. He comes with a lot of experience and he's very knowledgeable in a lot of areas. So welcome, Pat. Thank you for taking our offer. Next is consideration.
Rachel, we need a motion.
We do, okay. Could I have a motion, please, for Pat's appointment?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. Next is consideration of the meeting of the minutes from our IDA regular meeting and annual meeting, which was held on January 22nd, 2025. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Could I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. Next is consideration of the audit of claims for January 10th, 2025 to March 17th, 2025. We all have copies of those. I looked it over, everything was routine. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion to accept.
Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. Next is consideration of our financial statements for January and February 2025. They were all provided to us. And if there's no questions, could I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
Everything was good? Okay.
Second.
And Mark? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. Now this item on our agenda and the next item, I'll be asking for a motion, but for both of them, this was time sensitive for Anthony to receive the final financial statements for the fiscal year 12/31/24 because they had to be submitted to the ABO by March 31st. So that would be this one, and the next one was also time sensitive that Anthony needed to receive. So could I have, for consideration of authorizing the chair to sign the BST engagement letter for fiscal year ending 2024 financial statements? If I could have a motion, please.
Motion to accept.
Thank you, Mark.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. And the second one, consideration of authorizing the CFO to sign the BST representation letter for fiscal year ending 2024 financial statements. A motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. And I'd like to call upon Jim Caramucci. Carmenucci. You think I should know? I should know how to say that. What you say?
Close. Yeah.
But yeah, that's. And if you give us a little overview of Factory Town, we also have Christian Louisi here also.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for allowing us to present this application. Thanks particularly to Melissa and Maggie for assistance in putting it together. I'm sure you're all familiar with the project site. It was the subject of an RFP issued by the agency back in 2021, located on Cannon Street, adjacent to the, I guess it's the northern end of the former Ford Motor Company site. It's a 32.2 acre site. Total project costs for the project are approximately $36 million, and the proposal is for a 135 unit multifamily residential apartment facility, including amenities such as a clubhouse and a gym. We are seeking financial assistance in the following amounts: mortgage recording tax exemption, $290,500, maybe $560. State and local sales tax, $1,372,370. Property tax estimated savings over the 17-year term, which includes 2 years of construction, is approximately $6.7 million. Our proposed pilot schedule mirrors what was done for Starbuck Island. Same type of terms, same type of approach in terms of graduated payments over the term. I believe the current assessed value is about $630,000 for the property. We're estimating upon completion the assessed value will be about $17.5 million. So obviously, the project will result in a significant increase to the tax base, to the taxing jurisdictions. I have Christian Weezy here, who does have some renderings and can answer any questions regarding the project.
Yeah, so I didn't know how many I was supposed to make. I brought a couple here, Maggie.
Yeah.
I also have some additional copies of the application in case anyone needs one.
To give you a little bit about the project too, is we have a little bit more room than we did at Starbuck. So our goal is to spread it out a little more. You know, we love our grass. So we have 4 different buildings that we're actually going to do here. It is 1 44 unit, I think 4 8 units, 6 10 units, and then 2 3 units. So, and we really think that this is going to give the property a little bit more character. We're going to spread it out a little bit. That's a rendering of the 44 unit, and then just some site plans for you. So again, you know, we like to spread it out a little bit. We're going to do a few different building designs, and you know, we're going to space it out. We're going to do some great landscaping, and you know, give this place a little bit of character. We have some room to play with here, unlike Starbuck. But again, I brought a site map and some renderings. The pictures there, the actual photos are of a 44 unit we're doing up in Niskayuna that we're actually going to mirror at this property. That's going to be the single 44 unit building. In my opinion, it's a really beautiful building. My favorite that we've actually ever done. It's you know, it has a lot of character to it. So I can answer any questions you guys may have on the development, but that's a little tidbit on our vision that we have down there.
I think this will be nicer than Starbucks.
It'll be very similar. They're not going to be the same building designs, of course, but you know, the way that we'll do our projects, the interiors, the way we'll keep the landscaping.
I'm not laughing at you. My son just texted me something absolutely nuts.
So it'll be very similar and alike.
Christian, are the rents, how do the rents compare to Starbuck Island?
I don't think we finalized the rents. I do think they're going to be a little bit less than Starbuck Island, and the reason behind that is we don't want to compete with Starbuck Island, right? We don't want to compete against ourselves and, you know, put these super high rents that luckily we do get at Starbuck Island. You know, trying to add another 135 of them, you know, it's almost like we're going to try to compete against ourselves. So I think they're going to be a small notch below. That doesn't mean we're going to compromise in the quality of the apartment that we deliver.
I think you're gonna have a different clientele too. Starbuck, we've got it's kind of a mix of the older successful people that have sold their homes, that don't want to maintain their homes anymore, but still have the ability to pay the $3,000, $3,500 a month rent. And then you got the younger kids from RPI whose parents have a shit ton of money, and don't matter what it costs, but they have a big turnaround. What I think we'll see here is more to the likes of like our Rivers Ledge product and our Stone Ledge. You get somebody in that $1,600 to $2,200 a month range, but they stay. They kind of turn that into their headquarters, and this will have more walkability in a sense, with connecting it to the trail that goes to Cohoes and Waterford. So I think you're going to see middle age and up. I don't think you'll see the younger group here. But yeah, we are going to market it at a lower rate than Starbucks.
Any other questions, everybody? Anybody? Well, it sounds very nice, very interesting.
Yeah, we're excited for sure.
Yes, so am I. I hope everything works out good. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, very much. Next on the agenda is consideration of adopting a resolution authorizing the Chief Executive Officer of the Village of the Green Island Industrial Development Agency to hold a public hearing regarding the Factory Town Apartments LLC project. And Melissa Bennett, Special Counsel, if you could give us some information on that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So before the board for your consideration is a resolution that you each have a copy of. And so the resolution includes some of the details of the project, including the location, you know, the approximately 13 residential buildings and the related amenities, and outlines the potential exemptions from from mortgage reporting tax, sales and use tax, real property tax, and transfer taxes. And so in accordance with the general municipal law, any project that would receive more than $100,000 in financial assistance, which as Jim has outlined in his presentation, this project would, needs to hold a public hearing, and the terms of the proposed pilot agreement would deviate from the agency's uniform tax exemption policy. And so you would also need to follow that deviation procedure. So this resolution will authorize Maggie as executive director to fix the date for a public hearing and to send out notices to the taxing jurisdictions and to the newspaper to notify the public of the proposed public hearing, and also to send out deviation letters to the taxing jurisdictions to let them know that the IDA would consider at a future meeting deviating from its uniform tax exemption policy in order to give the requested pilot to the project, consider giving the pilot. And the resolution also authorizes us, Barclay Damon, to act as transaction counsel to the agency for this project.
Okay, thanks, Melissa. Does anyone have any questions? No, and we all have a copy of the resolution. Thank you very much. Could I have a motion, please?
Motion to accept.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. Next is consideration of setting the public hearing date for consideration of application for financial and other assistance from Factory Town Apartments, LLC. We all have a copy of the draft application. We were able to go over it for our review. And we would like to make the meeting date May 6th at 3 p.m. Could I have a motion to accept, please?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you,
Second.
Lynn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. Is there any other business to be brought before the board? Okay, thank you. If not, I need a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mark.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and it's carried. Thank you, everyone,
Thank you. Nice to meet
for all your input. Thank you.
What time is it? 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock.